Your drain is clogged right now, or it was last month, or it will be next month. And when it happens, you are going to do one of two things. You're going to pour something expensive and chemical down that drain that partially works for 3 weeks and then fails, or you are going to call a plumber who shows up 2 hours late, looks at your drain for 4 minutes, and hands you a bill that starts at $300 and climbs from there depending on how stressed you look when you answer the door. And here is what that plumber will never tell you while he is standing in your kitchen writing that invoice. A $1 liquid sitting in your pantry right now kills any clog permanently. Any clog, any pipe, any drain in your entire home, $1 against $300 to $800 every single time you pick up that phone. They didn't hide this because it fails. They hid it because it works too well. I need you to stay right here because what I am about to show you is going to permanently change how you handle every drain problem in your home for the rest of your life. And it is going to make you genuinely furious at an industry that has been collecting hundreds of dollars from American families for something that costs $1 and has been documented since 1925. Let me show you what a clog actually cost you. Not just the service call, the real cost. The average American household deals with between 2 and 4 significant drain clogs per year. Kitchen sink, bathroom sink, shower drain, sometimes the main line. A standard plumber service call in most American cities runs between $150 and $400 before any parts. Emergency calls on weekends or evenings start at $300 and can exceed $800. Drain cleaning product companies like Drano and Liquid Plumber generate over $500 million in annual retail sales on products that dissolve only the soft, organic material at the surface of a clog while leaving the grease and mineral deposits that cause the clog still bonded to your pipe walls. Within 3 to 6 weeks, the clog reforms. You buy another bottle. The cycle continues, permanently profiting from a problem they know their product only partially addresses. Over 10 years, the average American household spends between $2,000 and $6,000 on drain-related issues between products and service calls, for a problem that $1 of baking soda and $1 of white vinegar eliminates permanently in 12 minutes. And here is the part that should stop you cold. This is not new information. This is not something someone just figured out. The chemistry behind this fix was documented and in widespread practical use before your grandparents were born. It was buried deliberately by an industry that understood that a permanent $1 solution would collapse their entire revenue model overnight if it ever became common household knowledge. This channel exists to make that knowledge common. We find what the industry buried, we translate it into plain language, we put it directly in your hands, and we let the results speak for themselves. If you want to stop wasting money on industry lies, subscribe and hit the bell. Because this is not the last thing they buried, and it will not be the last thing we drag into the open. Now let me take you back to where this actually starts. The year is 1925. The place is a small residential neighborhood in Cincinnati, Ohio. A home economics researcher named Dr. Clara Hendricks is working on a federally commissioned study examining household sanitation and plumbing maintenance practices in post-World War I American homes. Indoor plumbing is spreading rapidly across the country, and drain blockages are becoming one of the most common household maintenance problems reported by American families. Clara is not a plumber. She is a chemist. And she approaches the drain clog problem the way a chemist approaches any problem. She looks at what a clog is actually made of at the chemical level and asks what compound dissolves those specific materials most effectively without damaging the pipe surface underneath them. What she finds after 18 months of laboratory and field testing is not complicated. The combination of sodium bicarbonate and acetic acid, baking soda and white vinegar produces a vigorous carbon dioxide reaction that physically agitates the clog material from all directions simultaneously, while the alkaline and acid compounds chemically break down the grease, soap scum, hair, and mineral deposits that bind the clog together. She documents the precise mixing ratios, the optimal timing sequence, and the follow-up hot water flush that clears the dissolved material completely from the pipe. She files her findings with the Department of Commerce in a 1926 public health report. The report is archived. It is never promoted to the general public. Within 5 years, the commercial drain cleaning product industry begins its rapid expansion, and Clara's $1 documented solution stays in a government filing cabinet for the next 100 years. Your grandmother already knew this. She used it every single day. Not always for drains specifically. She used baking soda and vinegar for everything in the kitchen that needed cleaning, descaling, or clearing. The fizzing reaction that you have seen your entire life in science class projects and kitchen experiments is not a novelty. It is a documented cleaning mechanism that your grandmother applied intuitively to every surface and every drain in her home without knowing the chemical name for what she was doing. And it worked every time, because the chemistry has not changed since 1925. Now let me show you exactly what is happening at the molecular level inside your drain when you apply this fix, so you understand why it works permanently rather than temporarily. Your drain clog is not a single substance. It is a matrix. a combination of materials that have bonded together inside your pipe over months of accumulation. Grease and cooking oils from your kitchen that solidify as they cool inside the pipe. Soap scum, which is the calcium and magnesium salt residue left behind when soap reacts with hard water minerals. Hair and organic matter in bathroom drains. And over all of it, a mineral scale layer of calcium carbonate deposits from your water supply that acts like glue, binding everything together and making the clog progressively harder and more resistant over time. Chemical drain cleaners like sodium hydroxide-based products attack only the organic material, the grease and hair, while leaving the mineral scale and soap scum deposits completely intact. This is why they work temporarily and then fail. They remove the soft center of the clog, but left the structure holding it together still bonded to your pipe wall. The baking soda and vinegar combination addresses the entire matrix simultaneously. At the molecular level, when sodium bicarbonate contacts acetic acid inside your drain, the acid-base reaction releases carbon dioxide gas in a vigorous, rapid expansion. This gas expansion physically penetrates the clog matrix in every direction at once, disrupting the bonds between the layered materials in a way that no liquid cleaner can replicate, because liquid follows gravity while gas expands in all directions equally. At the same time, the alkaline sodium bicarbonate is dissolving the grease and organic material, while the acetic acid is attacking the calcium carbonate mineral scale that holds the structure together. The follow-up boiling water flush then carries the entire disrupted and dissolved matrix out of your pipe completely, not partially, completely. The $30 billion plumbing services industry in America and the $500 million drain cleaning product industry both depend on one thing. You never understanding that baking soda and vinegar address the entire clog chemistry while their products address only part of it. You cannot patent baking soda, you cannot trademark white vinegar, you cannot lock a chemical reaction that has been in the public domain since 1925 behind a proprietary product and charge a 500% markup on it. So instead, you flood the market with branded alternatives. You train plumbers on your referral networks. You run advertisements that make your kitchen sink drain feel like a problem too technical for a homeowner to solve alone. You manufacture helplessness. And then you invoice the homeowner for the cure to a problem you manufactured. Every year you did not know this, you paid their ignorance tax. Every service call, every bottle of Drano, every moment of stress, waiting for a plumber to show up while water sits in your sink. All of it was a bill presented to you by an industry that understood exactly what they were doing. That stops today. If you've made it this far, you already know more than 99% of homeowners in America about what is actually inside your drain clogs and why the products sold to you address only part of the problem. So here is exactly what you do. Follow every step precisely, because the sequence is what makes this work completely rather than partially. You need two things. 1 cup of baking soda, standard box from any grocery store, Arm & Hammer or any generic brand. Cost is under $1 per cup. And 1 cup of white vinegar, plain distilled white vinegar, any grocery store brand. Cost is under $1 per cup. You also need 1 pot of boiling water. That is your entire supply list. Total cost, under $2, compared to $300 minimum for a plumber. Compared to $8 to $12 for a bottle of Drano that partially works for 3 weeks. Step 1. Remove any standing water from your sink or drain before you begin. If water is sitting in the basin, you need to remove it manually so the baking soda can reach the drain opening directly. Use a cup or a towel to clear the water until the drain is exposed. Step 2. Pour 1 full cup of baking soda directly down the drain, all of it at once. Then use a spoon or your finger to push any residue sitting at the drain surface down into the pipe. You want the baking soda coating the inside of your drain pipe as far down as it will fall. Let it sit for 3 full minutes. Do not add anything yet. This sitting time allows the dry sodium bicarbonate to begin absorbing into the grease and organic material already coating your pipe walls. Step 3. Slowly pour 1 full cup of white vinegar directly down the same drain. Pour it slowly and steadily so it follows the same path as the baking soda rather than splashing around the basin. The moment vinegar contacts the baking soda inside your pipe, you will hear and possibly see the reaction beginning at the drain surface. A fizzing sound, a slight bubbling rising up from the drain opening. That is your carbon dioxide reaction starting. That is Clara Hendrix's documented chemistry working inside your pipe right now exactly as she documented it in 1925. Immediately after pouring the vinegar cover, the drain opening with a drain plug or a wet cloth. This is the critical step that most people skip when they have tried this before and been disappointed with the results. The carbon dioxide gas needs to be forced downward into the clog rather than escaping upward back through the drain opening. By covering the drain, you are pressurizing the pipe space below and forcing the gas expansion to work against the clog rather than venting harmlessly into your kitchen air. Hold the cover in place for 7 full minutes. Set a timer. Do not remove the cover early. During those 7 minutes, the gas expansion is physically disrupting the clog matrix from every angle, while the baking soda dissolves the grease and the vinegar dissolves the mineral scale, binding everything together. Imagine the clog material loosening, fragmenting, falling apart from the inside out as the chemistry works through every layer of accumulated material. After 7 minutes, remove the cover and immediately pour your full pot of boiling water down the drain in a slow, steady stream. The boiling water serves two purposes simultaneously. The heat further dissolves any remaining grease material that the chemical reaction loosened but did not fully liquefy. And the volume and pressure of the water flush carries everything the reaction broke down completely out of your pipe and into the main drain line. Watch the water level in your basin as you pour. If your drain was fully blocked, you will see the water beginning to drain faster as the flush progresses. By the time you have poured the full pot, you should see the drain flowing freely. If the drain was severely blocked with years of accumulation, repeat the full process immediately with a second application. Heavy long-term clogs respond completely to 2 consecutive treatments. For ongoing maintenance, perform this treatment once per month. 1 cup baking soda, 1 cup vinegar, 7 minutes covered. Boiling water flush, done in 12 minutes, total annual cost under $12. Compared to the $2,000 to $6,000 the average American household spends on drain issues over a decade without this knowledge, that is Clara Hendricks' 1925 research working in your home every month for $12 a year. That is what the $30 billion plumbing services industry and the drain cleaning product companies have been hiding from you since before your parents were born. Not because they did not know, because they knew exactly and built their entire revenue model on you staying in the dark. While you were calling plumbers, they were counting on your ignorance. While you were buying bottles of Drano that partially worked, they were scheduling your next purchase. While you were told that drain maintenance requires professional equipment or proprietary chemistry, they were cashing checks that should have stayed in your pocket. Now here is what I need from you before you close this video. Think about one person in your life right now whose drain is slow or clogged. A parent, a roommate, a neighbor who mentioned it last week and is already thinking about calling someone. Send them this video today, right now, before the algorithm takes you somewhere else. Because every share keeps alive what the industry tried to erase. Clara Hendricks documented this in 1925. Your grandmother kept the knowledge alive in her kitchen. You continue that chain every time you share this with someone whose money you might just save today. The next secret opens soon. And the industry it exposes has been reaching into American homes even longer than the plumbing industry has.